You're stuck in traffic or in that ridiculously long line at the coffee shop. Maybe you're even just walking down the frozen food aisle looking at like the deep dish pizzas and boom, it happens. You see the narcissist that you were once involved with. This video will cover how you handle seeing a narcissist in public and some tips, of course, to avoid the situation as best you can. Firstly, it's really important to understand that if you live fairly close to this person, you will probably see them at some point. There might not necessarily be anything that you can do about that, but once we kind of say that to ourselves a few times, we can work towards acceptance of that overall fact. And sometimes all we can do is take the information and work towards acceptance. There are times in life where there's just nothing that we can do. But the fear of seeing the nasty narky ex can certainly cause a lot of upset and a lot of anxiety. Again, we might not be able to fix it, but what we can do is we can help to curb the anxiety. And what you can do is make plans. What planning does is, well, honestly, it just kind of gives us the illusion of control. When you're panicked about something, when you're anxious about something, it's generally something that you don't have control over. And when you don't have control over the outcome, that fact makes you anxious. Some people might be called control freaks, or they might have a lot of issues with control. It is actually a sign, a symptom, however you want to say it, of codependency, having a lot of control issues. Planning, again, can give us the illusion of control. We can't control where the narc is going to pop up, but we can control where we pop up and what we do if we just so happen to see this person. You can do things like make a list of possible places where you might see this person, or what time of day you might see this person. What if you see them in the grocery store? Are you cool with just like ditching your cart in the middle of aisle 6 and making a mad dash for the door? Can you just carry on shopping discreetly? Are you maybe unbothered by that? Can you finish your shopping? It can help to have a plan, but a word of caution, a word of reality, I guess here. We don't really know how we're going to react in the situation until the moment arises. It's like people without kids trying to tell people with kids what they would do. You don't know what you would do because you don't have kids. So until we kind of get in that situation, we really don't know. However, again, sometimes planning is all we need to do. Again, the illusion of choices or the illusion of we have ideas or something that we can do. But as we know, things don't always go according to plan. But sometimes having something there will ease that anxiety. Okay, well, if I see them here, I do this. One of the best tips that you can follow is to change up the places that you frequent. And I know that it might seem like a cowardly thing to do. And a lot of people will feel like, hey, the narcissist is running me off of my turf. I'm not going to find a new grocery store or a new church or a new this or a new that. And I know people might have some of those feelings. Those feelings are completely valid, but maybe you are scared. Maybe you don't want to see them. And maybe you're choosing not to fight. Maybe you're choosing to go find another store, to go find another whatever. But you know what? That's okay. I would like to ask you if you're worried about what the narcissist thinks, or I'm not letting them run me off my turf, I'm not letting, this, that. Why do you care about what they think? They couldn't even give you any decency or respect as a human being. So maybe you're choosing to not be confrontational. Maybe you're choosing to not trigger yourself. Maybe you're choosing to not get upset, not have all that anxiety and go, you know what? It's worth it to learn a new grocery store than it is to have to deal with the possible panic-inducing situation that I could go into. Why do you care that you're going to, switch to a different gym? It doesn't matter if you don't want to see this person. And honestly, changes can be good for people. Give it a shot. Here's the thing. You try it. You don't like it. You go back to what you were doing. Change the phone number. Change the mindset. and change the, Chipotle that you go to. You might actually be really pleasantly surprised with what a little change can actually do. If you'd like to talk with me one-on-one about what you're going through with a narcissist, you can text, call, email, or visit my website for information on how to do just that. It's all on the screen for you now, and it's also available at any time right down in the video description. There might come a time when you see this person and there's nothing you can do about it, and they approach you, or you bump into them on purpose or not, and there you are, face to face with this individual. And then what, right? This is something else to write down and plan out if you think it will make you feel better. Again, having the plan will help us feel like we have control, like we have choices, and then we can practice those things. If you write it down and then you practice it, it gives you more confidence. In the moment, of course, try to stay calm, try to stay collected, don't look startled. I would suggest, if you think this is something that is very likely to happen, consider learning some of the gray rock techniques. Gray rocking is basically to appear bored of the narcissist so that they can't feed off of your emotions and attention because you're not giving them any. You look bored, uninterested, you look busy with something else and unbothered by their existence. You don't give them eye contact. You appear again very distracted. You catch them off guard right in the middle of their sentence and you say, hey, I gotta get back to work, whatever. You don't ask them how they are. You don't care. Don't answer their questions. Again, give them the very ambiguous, yeah, that's cool, I'm fine, whatever, as vague as possible. If they are insistent and you do end up getting sucked into a conversation, don't agree to meet them later. Don't agree to accept a phone call. Don't agree to call them. This run-in needs to be treated basically as a Hoover, and you don't want to get sucked back in. Keep in mind, survivor, I've said to change where you go, and you might not do that. I've suggested things to do, and you might choose to do nothing that I have suggested. And you know what? That is absolutely fine, because here's the thing. You are going to handle things with the nasty little narc the way that you want or choose to handle them. Maybe you do talk to them. Maybe you do agree to meet them. Okay, that's all right. It doesn't make you an awful person. Maybe you did it in the moment just to get out of the situation. Yeah, sure, I'll call you, whatever. Whatever ends up happening, it's really, really major and very important that you are not unnecessarily hard on yourself. Sometimes we have to say and do what we need to do to get away in that moment. After things have happened to you, you will have time to calm down. You can reflect on what happened, but never be destructive, especially towards yourself. Be compassionate towards yourself. This is not an easy thing. If it was easy, nobody would be talking about it. It's very upsetting. And after all is said and done, everything will be rehashed and fresh in your brain. You might begin to obsess or ruminate, get emotional. As someone who has and still has a lot of anxiety, plan, and plan some more. Practice things, study gray rock, learn how to become as aloof as you possibly can, come up with quick escape routes, and get as much control and as much power as you can for when you have to go into these situations where you don't have any control. So have you prepped to run into the narcissist, or has this already happened to you? What did you do? Did something work over something else? How did you handle this situation? Are you planning for it? What's your plan? What are you going to do? Share all of that with me down in the comments below. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.